I think that is Derrick Rose's priority to try and find a way to end up on a contending team. There's a lot of teams that need what he provides. A whole list of teams, even teams that actually made a playoff run. I think that Derrick Rose will provide ample enough service to those teams. Teams like the Lakers, Clippers, Miami Heat, the Bucks, 76ers, and Golden State. I mean, Golden State is definitely a solid team for next year, but if you're looking at how they operate with their bench, it's not really that good, to be honest with you. You can't really name guys that really make an impact like that besides Eric Pascal and probably Damian Lee, maybe Marquise Chris, but who else? Kevon Looney's a serviceable big, but he's not a guy that you want to give ample minutes to. You want to give him at least 15, 20, arguably, depending on who the matchup is, of course. But yeah, man, I think he'll be a pretty good spark off the bench at the point guard position. Lord knows who they play at the point guard if Curry's not in. That'll be a good move for Golden State. 76ers mainly because they barely have any playmaking on the perimeter at all, really. Josh Richardson is a solid player, but he's not your playmaking guard. He's mainly trying to get his own. He'll probably feed it to you if he sees you, but he's really not savvy like that. Not like Derrick Rose is, for sure. And Ben Simmons, he's definitely a playmaker on the perimeter, but he cannot shoot the ball, or he will not shoot the ball. So, I mean, what else do you do besides get a point guard that could actually want to shoot the ball and do all the other things? Why not? And the Bucks, because Derrick Rose over Bledsoe, of course. We all know that for sure. I don't know who would start Bledsoe before Derrick Rose, but sure not me. Derrick Rose can actually give you buckets and score in the paint effortlessly. Argue with it or not, I think he's still in his prime, arguably. Why not? If he ends up on the Heat, that would be a very good move for them. They get their veteran point guard as well as Goran Dragic. That would be a pretty nice point guard spot for the Heat. I really don't think none is a long-term option for the Heat, to be honest with you. I don't really see him being on this team for more than 2 more years. Unless he really shows up next season and does something amazing to the point where we have to keep him. But it all comes down to how you perform in the playoffs, and Kendrick Nunn just wasn't available as much as we expected. Compared to Goran Dragic, I'm keeping Goran before I keep Nunn, to be honest. Clippers. No, this Clippers team, man, I don't know. They have a lot of holes to fill, especially after what happened last season. They need that point guard position fulfilled and complete. Lou Will provides the offense and Beverly provides the defense, but you're not gonna have both those guys on the floor at the same time. Derrick Rose will be a very good backcourt mate for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. That's for sure. Either him or Drew Holiday, to be honest with you. Now, if they could possibly get Derrick Rose, then it depends who they're willing to keep at that point guard position. I really don't think they'll want to have a 3 point guard rotation going on that team. I'll probably keep Lou Will, to be honest with you. I think Lou Will is more efficient and more consistent when it comes to playing time and being available. But yeah, I'll play Lou Will some minutes, but I'm giving Derrick Rose majority of the minutes for sure. For sure. And the Lakers, only if Rondo leaves. Only if Rondo leaves. Which I don't think will happen, to be honest with you. I think after the success of this season, I think that they're going to keep that team intact. Just in case. Only if somebody offers that player way more than what the Lakers can afford, then yeah, that's the only way that'll break apart. They just won a championship. I'm sure they're willing to run it back. Those guys have good chemistry together. They hang out together, so they'll be all right. But Derrick Rose will be very essential to that team, regardless if Rondo leaves or not, to be honest. Now that I think about it, I think that Derrick Rose could be a very good scoring option at that point guard position, Rondo isn't the best point guard when it comes to scoring. He's a very good overall point guard, no doubt about that. But Derrick Rose, scoring wise, is definitely a better player. We all know that for sure. He could be a very valuable player for a contending team, man. No doubt about it. Average 18 points per game on very efficient numbers on a lottery team. Like, that team was not good. That Detroit Pistons team, whether Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond was playing, they were getting exposed every single night. They had no floor stretches, really. And yeah, man, it's like they try to force something that wasn't supposed to work out regardless. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond at the front court position it's too outdated, man. It's not the way the NBA is moving. So they did the right thing with trading Drummond, for sure. That saved them a ton of money. And now they have to see what they can do with Blake Griffin, if they're willing to keep him, or I don't know. It seems like they really have no choice at this point. But I think that they should try and get rid of Derrick Rose and try to get a lottery pick, if anything, for him, or possibly just do him a favor, man. It just doesn't make sense keeping him at this point in his career. He's 32 years old. Let him win one.